precepts. Chanmyay Sayadawgyi Khunapa Tabao Megon Pausana Kunapune Katava.
You like about me. Dear, maybe come in.
Now it's a questions and answer period. All the questions you have posted last night, Sayadaw will answer. I will read it out in English and then in Burmese, and Sayadaw will answer. English or Yen Patia, Chanmyay Sayadawgyi. The English or Yen Patia, Chanmyay.
The Kunyan.
Bamba,
the Kuya.
Bamba. Okay. Sayadawgyi, sir, what scriptures or commentaries would be helpful to study to help to understand how to improve our practice? Would the Abhidhamma be good for this? Dharma. Chanmyay be Pali be commentary de wore so the Leila no shi akutu legend that Satipatthana Yao Pobi Na Le Bi Chin Nai Pa Ma Le Abhidhamma ko tin ja pa ma la Mekonte
Abhidhamma ma lo Mezima Nike Uparipanada Pali do Satipatthana to Pali ne Eridago Punhare Athagata Jiva Mezima Nike Uparipanada Pali do Uparipanada Pali do Satipatthana to Satipatthana to ne Erido ye appoint Athagatago Jay Jiva.
Okay. The first answer to Dara question. So what we need to read. Okay, so first of all, you don't need Abhidhamma. Okay? But if you want to improve and understand better, it's called Majjhima Nikaya Uparipana Pali
Nikaya Yomanale.
Nikaya.
Pali Yomanale.
Uparipanata Nikaya.
Mezima Nikaya. Mezima Nikaya.
I'm just saying in Burmese, so Sayadaw's correcting in Pali. Mezima Nikaya. Okay. Uparipanata Pali scripture and Satipatthana Sutta. And also all the commentaries with regard to that Satipatthana Sutta. That's what he recommends you to read.
Peter, without the Athagata, Asaso Leela Ulu.
And also a part of purification without the Meg, without the Megga, and Athagata. So you need to read that thoroughly from back to front to back. So that may go number tip here. Number next, Dara's second question is, I have never really understood what it means to look at the pain. May I understand better hearing from you. Look at the pain, look at the pain. Vedana shoot. I Vedana shoots for that. To Tidija Namale, who that Chanmyay Nalea, Chanmyay.
while you are meditating, if you feel any unpleasant sensation in your body, such as a pain, stiffening, numbness and so on, they are Vedana, dukkha Vedana, unpleasant sensation. For example, when you feel pain in your leg, that pain is Vedana. Vedana is of three kinds: pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling. That pain is an unpleasant feeling or unpleasant sensation. That must be observed. That must be noted. Pain, pain, labeling it as pain, pain, observing the unpleasant sensation. That at that moment, pain, pain, pain. You are mindful of the pain. You are aware of the pain. That is contemplation of the pain. Vedana. Madhuro.
Dara, yeah. Cambodian yogi.
Very easy.
Easy. Dara. Yeah. Now the second yogi said, Sayadawgyi, Venerable Sir, if there was a great catastrophe that destroyed the living system that support humans on this planet, such as nuclear war or global temperature increases, what would become of the Buddha Dharma? With Metta, Jim, Titaka. Barong solution, Uma, the Kababama, the Kabaloka, Imarkana, a Chija, Dokai, the Polar, Ubama, the Karen, a new music, Domaho, the Karen, then a Buddha, the Yandet Lapidon, Kabai, a chain, a Sidwara, a low chain, my solution, the Buddha, the Bapia, Wamarone.
Kabaji Piasi Tuavi, Kabaji Mashiro, Buddha the Male Mashiro.
If there is no world, if the world is destroyed by catastrophe, the Buddha Dharma also is gone.
There's nobody to appreciate it.
Dutiya Megompya. Second questions. Sayadawgyi, Venerable Sir, is it possible for a layperson living in this modern civilization, in the working world, to achieve some degree of enlightenment with Metta Jim? Through the Shotwe Myam Kaisa Myara, the Kabahi Man Nini, Yo to Ludata Ua solution, enlightenment, and then some degree, enlightenment, and then Yabu Pianai Bahala.
No, so with Metta Bani.
Mamba, so you are Metta Pian, out
Metta is a meditation, samatha meditation. Metta Bhavana is no Vipassana meditation. Only Vipassana meditation enables a meditator to attain enlightenment. But samatha meditation cannot.
Oh, the Metta Surata, Alma, Lematura, Kama, Yudu, Zoapian, Hello, hello, the Bob unit Terra.
Yes, it's possible. Pinayamare. Who live the Vipassana Atolu, the Yari Yanida, Vipassana Nyani Pinida. Now, any entertainment, Manya Punya Yana, ရှိတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေအများကြီးပါပဲလူရင်းကအချိန်ရဖို့နဲ့လုံလောက်ဝိရိယလုံလောက်ဖို့ပဲလိုတယ်လို့အထောက်ဖို့ရ
Yeah, there's busy working workers, you can attain some enlightenment. Not only that, there are some people who are lay people who are busy in this world, working in this world, and they have already touched or attained the path and the fruition. All that you need is sometimes you have to allot some time and give that time to the practice as well as great effort. If you have that too, you can achieve it even as a lay person. Many people had done so. This is the third question from Naria. Sayadawgyi, please advise how to acquire skill to spread Dharma in school. Please give an example of consequences of Khanika Samadhi. မေကွန်းတစ်ခုပဲပထမမေကွန်းကဗျတရားနာရီယန်ဒီအရှိမထိုင်နေတဲ့အဖိုးကြီးဗျသူကကျောင်းမှာတဲ့ကလေးတွေကိုဒီဗုဒ္ဓတရားကိုသူကဖြတ်ညင်လို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်လိုများဖြတ်လို့ရှိရင်အကောင်းဆုံးနည်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်လေတဲ့ဗျဘယ်လိုများလုပ်ရမလဲပေါ့ကျောင်း
ဆိုတာဘုန်းကြီးကျောင်း
ကလေးရိုးကျောင်း
စာသင်ကျောင်း
နေဗျ
စာသင်ကျောင်းမှာကလေးတွေကို
ဒီတရားနဲ့တရားနဲ့ဝင်လာအောင်အာယုံဝင်လာအောင်ဘယ်လိုနည်းမျိုးနဲ့လုပ်လို့ရှိရင်ကျွမ်းကျင်လုပ်ရင်ကောင်းပါမလဲ
ပထမဆုံးကတော့ကလေးတွေကိုသရဏဂုံသုံးပါးနားလည်အောင်ပြောပေးရမယ်ပြောပေးပြီးအဲ့သရဏဂုံသုံးပါးကိုနေ့တိုင်းအချိန်လေးတစ်ချိန်ထားပြီးတော့သူတို့ရွတ်စေရသရဏဂုံသုံးပါးဆိုတာဗုဒ္ဓံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိဓမ္မံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိသံဃံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိအဲ့ဒါကိုပါဠိလိုရောသူတို့နားလည်တဲ့ဘာသာနဲ့ရောဗုဒ္ဓံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ဓမ္မံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်သံဃံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကိုရှင်းပြပြီးတော့ဗုဒ္ဓံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရှင်းပြပြီးတဲ့အခါမြတ်စွာဘုရားရဲ့ဖြစ်တော်စဉ်အကျဉ်းချုပ်ပြောပြနောက်ဓမ္မံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရှင်းပြပြီး၅ပါးသီလအဲ့ဒါဓမ္မအနေနဲ့ရှင်းပြသံဃံသရဏံဂစ္ဆာမိရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရှင်းပြတဲ့အခါမှာလက်ရှိတွေ့နေတဲ့သံဃာတော်တွေရဲ့အကျင့်သီလအကျင့်သမာဓိအကျင့်ပညာအကျင့်ဆိုတာကိုကလေးနားလည်အောင်ရှင်းပြပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီသရဏဂုံသုံးပါးကိုနေ့စဉ်တစ်ချိန်ထားပြီးသူတို့၃ချိန်အယုခိုင်မှာဒါအစပေါ်လေ
So your short question, long answer, because you asked the whole procedure. So first and foremost, you have to talk to these children, okay, on their level. What is the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? You have to explain them. What does it mean? Because without understanding them, that is nothing much. And once you have explained it on their level, the meaning of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you have to teach them in Pali words, the same thing. Buddham charanam gicchami, Dhammam charanam gicchami, Sangham charanam gicchami. Okay, face by face, not all in one stroke. Okay, good. And then make them learn how to recite it. Okay. And then when you are saying this Buddham charanam gicchami, at that time you just recite it and then you told the children the story of the Buddha so that the children can grab their attention. So explain. So every time you could little this story, that story, this story. That is one. And then when you are saying Dhammam charanam gicchami, at that time simply explain about the 5 precepts on the level with a little story. So, the 5%, that is Dharma, that is good enough for them. And then Sangam Saranam Gicchami, what the bhikkhus are, and at that time, how these monks have to practice, okay, how they have to live, okay, their morality, okay, and also their concentration. In other words, how hard they try to conform with the Buddha on the children level. And in that way, slowly and slowly, they will understand. They will understand that. And as you say, it is in school. If it is possible, give one period for that. Okay, let's say whatever school you are running, it's one period you have to run that, and there's a special period just for this. One period. And at that time, you go through this procedure, but also make them learn how to recite that as well, knowing the true meaning behind it. That's a start.
အဲဒီလိုတရားအကြောင်းဓမ္မံတရဏံဝိသမိပြောတဲ့အခါမှာဘုရားဟောထားတဲ့ဓမ္မပဒပါဠိတော်နဲ့သူရဲ့အပွင့်အထကထာအဲ့ဒါကိုအင်္ဂလိပ်ဘာသာပြန်ထားတာရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါက story တွေပဲဝတ္ထုကြောင့်ကလေးတွေစိတ်ဝင်စားတယ်အဲဝတ္ထုကြောင့်နဲ့မှာဓမ္မတရားကိုမြတ်စွာဘုရားကထုတ်ပြီးဒီနေရာမှာဒီတရားနဲ့လျော်တယ်ဆိုပြီးမြတ်စွာဘုရားထုတ်ပြထားတယ်အဲ့ဒီ story လည်းပြောပြအဲ့ဒီထုတ်တဲ့ ethic ကိုလည်းပဲရှင်းပြ story ပြောပြတော့စိတ်ဝင်စားတာပေါ့ဝတ္ထုကြောင့်ဆိုတာ
And also as a guide, this book is quite famous in the West, Dhammapada. All these little notes of the Buddha's life. But these notes always come from a story. So you go from the note and then you trace the story, and these stories are very interesting. It will grab the attention of the children. So tell them in a storyline, but always use that little line, the story, and then put that line into their mind as well. And that way it will go on. In other words, it's a whole thing that you can do it for years. It's just in short one here. And then it's Dhammapala, in that there's a storyline as well as the ethics are involved in there.
Oh, Myanmar ပြည်မှာတော့ကလေးတွေကျောင်းပိတ်ချိန်နေရာစီမှာဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာယဉ်ကျေးမှုသင်တန်းဆိုပြီးတော့ကလေးတွေသိချသင်ပေးတယ်အဲ့ဒါကလေးတွေသိအကျိုးများတယ်တလတချို့လည်း2လအဲ့လိုသင်ပေးတယ်ကျောင်းပိတ်ချိန်
In Myanmar, like the children have the summer vacation. It's a 2 months vacation. Like during that period, Sayadaw at the monastery, they have a class study for the children, and they teach throughout these children. And these children, if you observe them, how they grow up and how they keep on growing up and how they behave, you can see the benefit right under your eye.
No, maybe.
Now, Megon Takuapya, the Kanika Tamari effect, probably. A job. A Jew affects a Jew. Kanika Tamari, a Jew, or a Umaline, the Kushin Yapi on Bar.
Kanika the Maria.
Consequences. Consequences.
Kanika the Maria, Nalelula.
Yeah. Do you understand Kanika Samadhi?
Yes.
What's it then?
It is the concentration is so powerful that you are able to focus on each thought that rapidly goes on, and you see that thought very clearly. The thought or the object very thoroughly and penetratingly. You understand what the meaning is.
What do I go to cool, sure, a kama, the charge, a sa some shoe nine, the machine, Mimia shoe and machine, Eddie Chema Suzila, the state that will Kanika Amadino.
So
The iron shoe, yeah. I should like that come out, Eddie Iron lower in Nale, like the water are sure as you can be water chinky, Eddie Shama, Tidi Jaja, Iron Matope, Nina Gelushin, and Mathemati Lipola. Eight Amadi Liu, Kanika Amadi, Nale.
no. Kanika the Madisura. I only cannot boy my shoe like Ari. I must say, Tira, who Kanika the Madi for that. My Pauna borrow, Pauna should I did. Pauna she gave my say I bought it. And I cannot have it. Then Kanika the body. No, Baina Bora, then no Baina should like it. Baina Piota, then no cannot do I bought it like that. Ariga Navy, say, I learned there. Learner say was Luna should like the no Linus, say, Boma, cannot delay the other. But I am not cannot have a TV. Dog value. I must say, Tira, the canal at the Lowing arrow. Vipassana, I told the Poguma, Shurain, ha, Bagu, Shu, Kanika the Mari Pianera.
So, Sarah explained what Kanika Samadhi along with the example. Example is whatever you are doing. You are observing the rising movement. And when you are observing the rising movement, your focus is right on it. And then this focus also arises and disappears along with the object, rising movement. And then, so the same is with the falling movement. Your mind is totally, firmly established in that falling movement, and it disappears with it. And then suddenly a thought comes in, and not the contents. You just simply, firmly know there was the thought. At that moment, there's a little bit of a establishment of the concentration, but it has to be continuously. But they go moment by moment by moment. That is called momentary concentration.
Yeah. Kanika the Mari, consequence,
Mama.
Vipassana Nyambo, Kanika the Mari, Sesame Glavi, Solution, Akon, Akon, Vipassana Nyam Chibido, Yok the one and the word Bila.
So he just explained what Kanika Samadhi means. Okay, now you ask the consequences. What are the results? The result is insight. So when you establish this momentary concentration continuously and successively, you penetrate into the nature of mind and matter. That penetration is insight. So the consequences or the result is insight. Now yogi the kupya. Now yogi at Dinka Pignon. This one's come from the Dinka, and the first question is, I know that contemplation and reflections are not part of Satipatthana Vipassana practice in formal retreat. Question. Is it so that they are not encouraged outside the retreats as well? How do you see the role of contemplation in the practice? That's the question. The Samatha Vipassana ကျင့်နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာပေါ့လေဒီ the retreat တရားစခန်းမှာကျင့်နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာဒီ contemplation and reflection ဆိုတာမလုပ်ရဘူးဆိုတာသူနားလည်ပါပြီတဲ့တွေးတော့ပြီးတော့ဒါယုတ်ဒါနာအဲ့လိုမျိုးတွေလောက်တာနားလည်ပါပြီတဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့မေကုန်းကအဲ့ဒီတ ဒီတရားစခန်းမှာထိုင်မနေပဲအပြင်မှာနေတဲ့အခါမှာအဲ့ဒါလို reflection or contemplation ကိုလုပ်ဖို့ဟာကိုအရှင်ဘုရား encourage လုပ်ပါသလားတဲ့မလုပ်ဘူးလားအဲ့ဒါတခုအဲ့ဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်လိုမြင်ပါသလဲတဲ့ဒီ role of contemplation and the practice
contemplation and reflection
okay
reflection ကိုသူဘယ်လိုနားလဲသလဲအဲ့ဒီစကားလုံးနှလုံး
what do you understand and how do you understand the meaning of contemplation and reflection
contemplation I understand is deep thinking with attention and observation, but with a thought involved. And reflection I see as a similar thing, but with more thinking.
Contemplation ကိုသူတို့နားတယ်လို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တခုခုကိုပေချာချာကြီးကိုရှုမှတ်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒီရှုမှတ်နေတဲ့အခါမှာဘာလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အတိတ်ပဲကိုအဲ့မှာနည်းနည်းတွေးပြီးဖော်ယူတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့နည်းနည်းတွေးပြီးဖော်တယ်ရှုတာလည်းရှိတယ်အဲ့လိုလည်းတွေးတာလည်းရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒါ contemplation reflection ကြတော့ပို့ပြီးအတွေးတွေပိုများတယ်အဲ့ဒါလိုနားလဲပါတယ်
and Vipassana meditator use the bare attention to the object. The bare attention means that you just be mindful of the object as it is, without thinking, without reflection, without analyzing, without criticizing, without intellectualizing. Just be aware of it, just be mindful of it as it is. Because the meditator should rightly understand the reality of the object as it occurs. That's why he must not use any analytical knowledge, any reflection, any thinking, any intellectualizing. Just be aware of it. Just be mindful of the object as it really occurs. That is when you practice Satipatthana Vipassana meditation. But out of meditation and daily life at your home, you must use these contemplation and reflection as much as possible. That is a daily life. This is a meditation life. Very different.
So I don't need to translate. I'm easy, getting up easy. Okay. Dutiya Megomapya. Second question. Okay. Is it possible to make any progress in Vipassana practice without going to long-term retreats? How long retreats would you recommend and how often for progress to be made? Yeah. ပါမေရောဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီဝိပဿနာရဲ့ဉာဏ်ကိုရဖို့ဟာဒါလို့အရှိန်ရှည်တရားစိတ်တာမှာသွားမထိုင်မဲနဲ့ဖြစ်နိုင်ပါသလားတဲ့အဲ့ဒါတခုအဲ့လိုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အကယ်၍သွားရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘလောက်ကြာရှည်အောင်သွားမယ်ဘယ်နှခါလောက်သွားမယ်ဆိုတာသွားတယ်ဆိုတာဒီတခါတည်းကို insight ရဖို့ပေါ့လေတားဖို့လို့ပြအရှင်ဘုရားညွှန်ကြားပေးနိုင်ပါသလား Is it possible to make any progress in Vipassana practice without going to long-term retreats? How long retreats would you recommend and how often for progress to be made?
Yes. you need to practice meditation for a longer period of time so that you have enough time. Then you must put forth enough effort so that you can have continuous and constant mindfulness for the whole day and night. That continuous and constant mindfulness is the cause of a deep concentration. Then concentration becomes deep. You are able to realize or rightly understand impermanent suffering and impersonal nature of body-mind process or nama and rupa. To realize that, you need to practice, say about 2 months, 3 months, as a remarkable benefit of meditation. But it depends on your parami. Your parami means that your experience in meditation and past existence, past life. In the past life, you have a lot of experience in meditation, Vipassana meditation. Then those meditations are conducive to attainment of insight, knowledge, and path, enlightenment in this life. If you do not have any meditative experience in your past life, you will have to practice, say, for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 10 years. 10 years and or more. In Sri Lanka, in ancient time, a Mahathera, a senior monk, who is about 60 years old, practiced meditation, Vipassana meditation. He practiced 90 years intensively, incessantly, continuously, but he can't make progress. He can't attain any insight or enlightenment because he did not have any meditative experience in his past existences. So, to make progress in meditation depends on correct method and strenuous effort and parami, that means past experiences and past existences.
Dutiya, Dutiya may come. The next question is Sayadawgyi sir, what is the average length of time for a meditator already with a little experience to reach the first stage of enlightenment in one of your retreat centers? Why? To shout that Chanmyay Sayadawgyi နည်းနည်းအခြေခံရှိပြီးစနေပြီးကျင့်နေတဲ့ယောဂီတွေလည်းရနေပြီးတော့သောတာပန်ဖြစ်သွားတာပထမတင်သောတာပန်ဖြစ်သွားတာ average length of time ဘယ်လောက်ပြန်ရှိပါတော့နဲ့ဗျာ
ယောဂီသောတာပန်သောတပတ္တိမဉ္ဇဉ်ဘုညာရတယ်မရဘူးဆိုတာမြတ်စွာဘုရားမှာတပါးဘေးလူကဆုံးပြလို့မရဘူး။ဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတော့ ဒီယောဂီမှာသူအထုတ်လို့တွေ့တဲ့အတွေ့ကမှန်သလားမှားသလားမသိဘူးယောဂီကတရားလျှောက်တဲ့အခါမှာလည်းပဲသူလျှောက်တဲ့အတိုင်းမှန်ရဲ့လားမှားများနေသလားတကယ်လို့အမှားလျှောက်နေရင်ကမ္မထမ်းဆရာကအဲ့ဒီလျှောက်တဲ့အမှားပေါ်မှာကြည့်ပြီးဆုံးဖြတ်လိုက်ရင်ဘယ်ညာရပြီဘယ်မဲ့ရပြီဆုံးဖြတ်ရင်အဲ့ဒါမှားသွားတယ်လိုရင်းကတော့ယောဂီရဲ့အတွေ့ကိုဘေးပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကဆုံးဖြတ်လို့တိတိကျကျမရဘူးဒါကြောင့်အထုတ်တဲ့ယောဂီတွေကဘယ်ယောဂီဖြင့်ဘယ်မဲ့ညာရသွားတယ်ဘယ်ဘုံညာရသွားတယ်လို့အဲ့လိုကမ္မထမ်းဆရာကမသိဘူး
Apart from the Buddha, nobody exactly, precisely know who has attained what level. Okay. Only the Buddha, with the exception, exactly who has attained what. However, in the retreats, yogis always report to Sayadaw, to the meditation teacher. They're reporting and reporting and reporting. So these reports, they might be reporting sincerely. They might be reporting correctly. They might be reporting wrongly. They might be reporting falsely. They think they have experience that they might be reporting they haven't experienced. So the meditation instructor or the teacher has to depend, assuming that this report is sincere and correct. And based on that, he can assess it. Okay, this could be this or this could be that. Could be, but not definite, because the teacher doesn't exactly know precisely what is in the mind of the yogi. So because of that, nobody can really say this person is this area level, that area level, or this person has this insight or that insight, except the Buddha.
သို့တော်လည်းကမ္မထမ်းဆရာကအမတန်တရားကောင်းအတွေ့ကောင်းတဲ့ယောဂီများကြတော့ဟောဒီယောဂီဖြစ်ရင်ဘယ်ဝိပဿနာဉာဏ်လောက်ရောက်နိုင်လောက်ပြီးလို့သူဟာသူခံမှန်းနိုင်ရုံပဲရှိတယ်ဆုံးဖြတ်မပေးနိုင်ဘူးဒါကြောင့်ဘယ်သူမှဘယ်ကမ္မထမ်းဆရာမှလည်းယောဂီရဲ့တရားကိုဆုံးဖြတ်မပေးဘူး
However, when the yogis are reporting their insight or their experiences, a skillful teacher can really gauge how sincere they are, how true they are, how correct they are, and that teacher can estimate or guesstimate whether this student have attained this insight or that insight, or maybe he have reached this stage or that stage. He can estimate or guesstimate, but no teacher can tell exactly you are this or you are that or you are it.
ဒါကြောင့်မဟာစီဆရာတော်ဘုရားကြီးလည်းဘယ်ယောဂီရဲ့တရားမှာဘယ်ဉာဏ်ရောက်ပြီလို့ဆုံးဖြတ်ပြီးမပေးဘူးဘုန်းကြီးတို့လည်းအဲ့လိုပဲဘယ်ယောဂီကိုမှဒီယောဂီဖြင့်ဘယ်ဉာဏ်ရောက်သွားပြီလို့ဘယ်တော့ခါမှဆုံးဖြတ်မပေးဘူး
That's why Mahasi Sayadaw, that is our head of a lineage there, he never decide and say this yogi has attained this or attained that or reached this or reached that. So also Chanmyay Sayadawgyi never say this yogi have attained this or attained that or this stage or that stage or that insight.
ဒါကြောင့်မဟာစီဆရာတော်ကနှစ်လလောက်အားထုတ်လို့တရားတော်တော်ကောင်းနေပြီလို့ထင်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်များကိုဉာဏ်စဉ်တရားဆိုတာအနာခိုင်းတယ် Anakaina to Benya Yobilu, Pura Mohu. Yandan Diarema, Yogia, Benya Mabalu Twide, Benya Mabalu Twitter de, Benya Mabalu Twitter de, Yogi Twitter Pomunia, Ascendant, Hopia, Hopia, Yogi era Natham, Natham Bido, go Mapshidane, Tiare. Niane Dyson Giara. Oh, my Pidane, the area Pite, Pibo, Mayara, and guided way or Nadinyam, no Pibi, Guru, Yogi, and do I do. Soviet Nine, Sayaka, Soviet Babu, and Yane, Sindhi, Duable Live, Pure Biare.
So that's why at Mahasi Sayadaw, okay, when you see his yogi who is really working hard for about 2-3 months, and then he has progressed quite a bit, at that time he will take that yogi and put him down to listen to the stages of insight. Once the yogi listens to the stage of insight, the yogi knows. He knows himself, what he has experienced and what the scripture has said. What he has experienced and what the scripture has said. And he can gauge himself. He can gauge himself where he is at. No teacher will come and tell you, you have reached this or you have attained this. 2-3 months of practice, and then if you have progressions in there, the teacher will put you to these 13 stages of insight from the scripture, and you gauge yourself, comparing your experience with the scripture. And second question from Huai. Sayadaw, how is metta conveyed when I send it? And how is metta received by other party? Why? Patama, how is metta conveyed when I send it? And Dudya, how is metta received by the other party?
How is metta
received?
Retreat.
Received.
Received.
Is metta received by the other party? Hobaka, tu polai da lu de ro blu ya ba de le.
Yes, in Buddhist world, there are many people who think metta can be sent to any other person.
Okay. In this Buddhist world, there are a lot of people think that we can send, we can mail it, we can send it, metta to other party.
Metta is not material thing. It cannot be sent to any other person.
I cannot translate that. I don't know what it is. Metta
I forgot.
Maybe not our Chandato. Forgetting between English and Burmese. Metta is not a material thing. It cannot be sent to other party.
But when you develop loving kindness, metta in you, if you have a lot of metta in you, that metta naturally goes to the other person, need not to send.
So, got it.
Metta sura poyara mohu. Mimi dana phipwa aw lechin ya athugara. Eda jaung tu ko metta bhavana lo khore. Bhavana sura mimi dana ma phipwa aw lechin athugda ko bhavana lo khore. Metta bhavana sura mimi dana ma metta sai engong agong ne phipwa ne yo lechin ya la. Ai ro mimi dana ma metta sai agong ne akha ma mimi ne satsan ne puggol de Mimi ye metta da shay happy do thuro le chanda de Ari metta agong ne puggol so lo chin tu ye ari puggol ye myanna ga jilin ne nyain e de chetri shi de Ari puggol ne tway ya de puggol man thamya ari puggol de le be sai chanda de tu myanna ne ya ra ne Era ba jaung le so tu thana ma shi de metta ga satsan ne puggol de si a shay yauk twa lo
So this metta is, as you all know, it's not something that you can send. What it is you have to develop within you. You have to develop within you. In other words, your psyche becomes loving kindness. You have to develop again and again. That's what bhavana means. Developing culture, develop inside you. And it becomes you and metta become synonymous. Okay? And at that moment, that person, if you look at that person faces always peaceful, always happy, not just laughing, just look like it's always smiling, peaceful, happy, and it is very lovable. Okay? When you have that inside you, it becomes it. When people look at it, that is the feeling they get. And that is what? That energy of loving kindness developed inside that person is radiating out. And radiating out and touching everybody who is coming in contact with. So that is. And if you develop that, that will happen. You don't have to send it. They will feel it, they will receive it. And when they received it, first and foremost is just by looking at their face, they feel happy. And also they benefit because no danger, no harm comes around when the metta is. That's what metta is and how it is received, and it cannot be said. It radiates and touches people.
Suja bazo Hongi away at the Apiman Hamiro Lamare Jimian Sibi Jai Pimanka Bilare Labido Yogi Ro Deapia Bide Apiman Hamila Deapia Bida who taught ye Ponya Yogi Rupuma Mita Shidala Machibula Below Sobia Malay.
As an example, Sarah asked you a question. He came all the way from halfway around the world at his age. And there's a lot of difficulty and waiting times and the whole 9 years going through. And then he got here. He got here and he teaches you this practice, okay, with the best of his time and ability and as much as you can receive it. So the question is, what do you think? Does he have metta for you or not? Dinka.
Dinka is thinking.
Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am thinking because the answer is obvious.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a little time.
Wow. A Pierre Shin Shin Yive. I'm a Pierre Shin in that what they charge go to the Nalo, the Taunema. Basic body.
The Lord did not look over.
Tu alo you shilon logo tu apya mi tuwe
No. If I yogi will mow yen, Ponya di Vimanhami Lamla.
So if he doesn't like you, any of you, would he comes here? That's so obvious, that kind of thing.
Yes, I can say I see the metta. I see the metta.
Yeah.
So, but when I think, oh, I don't know.
We are current the color Nello Agilo Church about a young way.
This is another thing to be profoundly reflected, because it is very easy. If I love you, I can do for you a benefit. If I hate you, I don't do for you. Now I came from very far away in here and take suffering to teach you meditation.
Yes.
One can do it.
But that's how
Why can I do it?
I don't know, I have to think.
Metta means the mental state wishing the welfare of all living beings. That's the meaning of metta. Metta is a mental state wishing welfare of all beings in the world. Because I have the wish to do welfare of the yogis. That's why I came here. That is metta. Metta means no, love itself. That is why Pali scholars say loving kindness. Loving kindness is the mental state wishing the welfare of all living beings. And another word, metta wishes all living beings peace and happiness all the time. That's a metta. Metta vijnana nama get her.
Okay. The next question. The next question is, Sayadawgyi, Venerable Sir, how to keep mindfulness attitude when my work is often dealing with violence, unexpected behavior? Piye pya. Piye amira. Meron solution to a local pya. The lu solution and say Macau, say Matana Lure, Elo Lure, not to a lower, or the hardly judgment, the Luria, tiny bone tayachi like that, Lumuri. Other Lumuri in a mere sustani are ordered to the tea below tower, attitude below the dinner, the road to do the lower.
Tatiga mindfulness ka tayasa kama vekua api owa thanaine daily life jaro thalo maya bude dabi me lo yadaro thaya yadaro lithare so ja ba le ai ma ne de ai nga alou lou de ai nga alou lou de so lo yin lou xia pyu mu mu de shi de ai ma lou da de ko general awareness Yevonya the word pipi, Saika Asumone, other solution are mindfulness. Tabi me era lema piamalone only, but Pajamnes are daily life go, daily lives are a logo Zabiara. Any a time, any Luri necessary, Kaleve, Pina Ragoa, daily awareness, general awareness lower.
Okay, so this mindfulness is something you keep here. Don't miss even 1 second. You can't miss even 1 second here. But when you go back to the daily life, okay, the condition and situation of the daily life surround and control you. And you cannot keep the mindfulness like this in the daily life. And mostly you have to use a common sense, and you cannot be very mindful, but you can have general mindfulness, general awareness. Even the general awareness at a certain situation, you can't keep it. Okay, you have to deal with the situation there rather than that. But try your best to keep general awareness if you can. If not, don't worry about it. But full mindfulness is only what you try to keep at the retreat. And that's why they said, do this way, do this way, do this way. Because this is the only condition you can develop this. Outside this, you cannot develop this condition. Okay? Yeah. Now, the second question is 35 minutes daily meditation. Okay? Is that enough or more? Mindful daily attitudes. So, ဒုတိယမေကုံကဖျတနေ့ကို35မိနစ်လောက်ထိုင်လို့ရှိရင်လုံလောက်ပါသလားတဲ့ဒီတဲ့ပိုထိုင်ရအောင်မလားတဲ့
လုံလောက်တယ်ဆိုတဲ့စကားရဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်သူအပြည့်အဝနားလည်ပေါ့
တော့မေကုံ
နားလည်နေအဲ့တော့လုံလောက်တယ်ဆိုတာကနိုးနေတဲ့တစ်ချိန်လုံး mindful ဖြစ်နေမှလုံလောက်တာအဲ့တော့20 minutes 30 minutes နဲ့ဘယ်နဲ့လုံလောက်
Okay, so is the 35 minutes enough? So what he say is that what is enough is from the moment you wake up till you fall asleep, if you are mindful, then that is sufficient. That is the only sufficient time. But other than that, it's not. But you have to do what you can do.
Something is better than nothing.
Stop it. Who was it? Now I'm doing the right translation. This is Pierre. Okay. The next question said, Sayadaw, would I be able to find an explanation of seeing lights, feeling vibration, etc. during sitting meditation in any of your books? If so, which one? If time permits, can you please comment on it? Sue. Tuတရားထိုင်တဲ့အခါမှာဒီအလင်းရောင်နေမြင်နေနောက်တစ်ခါတည်းကိုယ်တွေတုန်လှုပ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါတွေဖြစ်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါတွေဖြစ်တယ်ကိုနားလည်အောင်လို့ဖတ်ရဖို့အရှင်ဘုရားပြုစုထားတဲ့စာအုပ်များရှိပါသလားအဲ့ဒါတစ်ခုအကယ်၍ရှိလို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်စာအုပ်ပါလဲအကယ်မရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အရှင်ဘုရားအချိန်လေးရှိရင်သူနည်းနည်းနားလည်အောင်လို့နည်းနည်းပြောပေးပါရှင်းပေးပါတော့အဲ့ဒါ
အင်းလေးလူကတော့ရှိမှမထင်ဘူးမှန်ပါမြန်မာလူကတော့အဲ့လိုစာအုပ်ရှိတာမှန်ပါဗျာမြန်မာစာဖတ်တယ်
Yeah. He said he doesn't have anything written in English, but he has books written in Burmese. Can you read Burmese?
Next lifetime.
Now was no Vipassana time.
Then that's why you'll have to be reborn in Myanmar. Yes. Vibration is Vayodhatu, wind element. Wind element, Vayodhatu has movement, motion, vibration, supporting as its characteristic. ပြောလိုက်ပါမယ်
Okay. Ship ya English you go. Translate. Like it. He thinks that he's talking about me. He's like telling me to translate.
You can translate to sad in Burmese, like crying.
အဲ့ဒါသူနားလဲပါ
So you understand, yeah. Megon taku. Dutiya Megon nga second question is Sayadaw. At what age is it appropriate for a child to start on this practice? And how does a parent explain to in simple enough terms? Sue. So, ကလေးငယ်တွေဘယ်အရွယ်လောက်ကစပြီးဒီတတိပဋ္ဌာန်တရားကိုစပြီးတော့ကျင့်ကြံလို့ရှိရင်ကောင်းပါမလဲတဲ့။နောက်ဒီကလေးတွေမိဘအနေနဲ့ဒီကလေးတွေနားလဲအောင်လို့ရိုးရိုးလေးတွေဘယ်လိုများပြောရဆုံးမပါမလဲတဲ့။နားလဲအောင်
10 နှစ်12နှစ်လောက်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပြောလို့အတော်တန်နားလဲပါတယ်အကုန်တော့မဟုတ်ဘူးပေါ့
။မှန်ပါ
ဟိုတရားအထုတ်နိုင်လောက်အောင်တော့10နှစ်12နှစ်လောက်ဆိုရင်တော့အဲ့ဒါစနားလဲပြီ
age about 10 to 12, 10, 12, then they know enough to practice. So in other words, that's a good time to start on your path.
ညဒါကြောင့်မြန်မာပြည်မှာတော့10နှစ်12နှစ်ကလေးတွေအဲ့ဒါတရားထိုင်တာသင်ပေးတယ်သင်ပေးတော့ရတယ်ဈဉ္ညာလျှောက်တာလည်းသင်ပေးတယ်ဘယ်လမ်းနဲ့ညာလမ်းနဲ့ဘယ်လမ်းရင်ဘယ်ခြေတော့လှုပ်ရှားတာကြည့်ညာလမ်းရင်ညာခြေတော့လှုပ်ရှားတာကြည့်အဲ့လိုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကလေးတွေဈဉ္ညာလည်းတချို့နိုင်တော့5မိနစ်10မိနစ်ဆိုတော့လျှောက်ကြ
So in Burma, Sayadaw have a program for the age around, starting around 10 or 12. They put on this meditation practice. So they can understand and they give very simple instruction how to work and how to sit. Just for 5-10 minutes. You don't go for 1 hour. 5-10 minutes. And that's the program. So, ဒါပါပဲပြမိကွန်း
ဟုတ်ပြီလား
မှန်ပါ